Hello, welcome to Mr. C's Biology. So today we're talking about what's inside a cell. There are two types of cells we're going to be talking about. We're going to start with an animal cell. So an animal cell is roughly circular, and very roughly it turns out in this case, and around the outside it has this cell membrane. And what that does is it stops things going into the cell that shouldn't, and also stops things leaving the cell that should stay in there. Inside the cell membrane is a jelly-like substance that we call cytoplasm, and that's exactly where all the reactions take place in the cell. If there's a reaction happening in the cell, most likely it's going to happen in the cytoplasm. Now, we've got some structures inside our animal cell that we need to know about. The main one is the biggest, and it often shows up as a different colour on the slide if we're looking at it under a microscope, because it holds stain very well, and that's called a nucleus. And our nucleus holds all the genetic information that a cell needs. So everything that it needs to be able to make itself, to be able to make a new copy of itself, for it to run, that's got all the DNA in there. That's really, really helpful. There are also little structures called mitochondria. Now, mitochondria provide all the energy for the cell to be able to work. They don't create the energy, but they do produce it through a reaction called respiration, where they transfer glucose into ATP energy. We also have some ribosomes. Now, ribosomes float around a structure like this, but the ribosomes themselves are the little dots that we've drawn there. And what ribosomes do is they build proteins. So they put together proteins out of little blocks called amino acids into the proteins that are going to make enzymes, that are going to make hormones, and everything like that in order to make the cell work. Now, the other type of cell that we're going to look at today is a plant cell. Now, a plant cell is a different shape. It's a little bit more square, but it still has a cell membrane. But around the outside of the cell membrane, actually, it has a cell wall. So our cell membrane is this inner line. That's what's going to protect and make things go in and out when they should be. But we have a cell wall around the outside. This is something that the animal cell doesn't have, but it means that the plant cell has a fixed shape, whereas the animal cell might have a different shape and might be able to change its shape more easily. But a plant cell does have a nucleus as normal, and it still has mitochondria and ribosomes. So we can label these cytoplasm being the jelly in between, the nucleus being the large structure there, these mitochondria, and those ribosomes. There are a couple more structures that are just in plant cells. So we have a permanent vacuole in the middle. The permanent vacuole holds cell sap, so it holds the sugars and waters that are going to help the cell to carry out a process called photosynthesis. And this photosynthesis is going to happen in structures called chloroplasts. Now, chloroplasts, I'm going to draw them. They look a little bit like mitochondria, but I'm going to draw them a bit more spherical, and they're only in plant cells, and they take in light, they trap the light, and they turn it into sugar. Now, those are the main structures that are inside a cell. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, then put them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.